Dear students, good afternoon. I am starting a new exercise that is called perspectives. What is this all about? Is this important for the exam? I am going to ask few questions and make you think about these questions. I'll give certain views and opinions, and it is up to you either to follow these views, opinions or not. And second is, most of these opinions are based on my teachers' classes. I have started attending classes of Venkat Mohan sir and few other teachers in Hyderabad. And most of these opinions are based on Venkat Mohan sir's classes. So, the objective is to develop a perspective in your mind and to make you think what is happening around you. Just rather than mugging up some notes given by the teachers in a classroom, without having an idea or thought of your own, will not empower you in this examination. And second is, you start freely expressing your thoughts in writing. So when the questions are being given to you and they are stimulated to think, and you are stimulated to think, then there is no stopping of your energies. This is why I have started this series. Now today's topic for discussion is gender issues in India. The gender issues. This is based on Venkat Mohan sir's class. Now, in the gender issues, the first question which I am going to ask you is this. Is feminism about gender equality or gender justice? Now, if woman is known for caring, attention, and then love, man is known for aggression. Now, many a times, if he hurts, woman takes it. So we say that it is majorly due to socialization through patriarchy. So in this context, feminism is about making women to behave as like a man, or feminism is about reforming the man. So if man is made to behave as a woman, and better traits of women are acquired by man, the nurturing, care and all these things, don't you think world is a better society? The world will be a better place to live. So what the direction the feminism has to take? Right, that's what is the question which I posed to you. Please don't ask me answers. My objective is to raise the questions and for you to think and make opinions on them. And next is patriarchy a form of division of labor? Now, we have men and women in the society, and many a times why men favor decisions of women, and sometimes why women do not favor women. And in these circumstances, what is this patriarchy is all about? It is kind of one form of division of labor. And the third question which I am going to ask you is, let me put this statement before asking you a question. When you see today, the entire civilization can be summarized into two aspects from the behavioral point of view. One is related to sex, the other one is related to aggression. Now with regard to aggression, we have many outlets. Now if you take success, you are writing UPSC exam, that is a success. If you get successful, that is a manifestation of your aggression. You became a good businessman, that's a manifestation of your aggression. You become the prime minister, you conquer the world, that is the manifestation of your aggression. So there are many forms of manifestation of aggression, and these are denoted with success. Now on the other hand, in the evolutionary perspective, aggression was rewarded to an extent. And another perspective, sex was made very secretive. A strict code of conduct was given for sex. Traditionally, the sex and discussion on the sex are very closed. Now, today, there are many stimulants to the sex are coming up. If you talk about media, pornography, all these are the stimulants to sex. So in these circumstances, how this question of sex have to be understood to understand the remedies for sexual violence. So can we understand the question of sex from biological perspective? Now biologically I can put it as this way. Man has hormonally great sexual urges compared to women. Because women by our very nature, because of nurture and also because of her biological character of childbearing and nurturing, she has an attention towards the love, but man has an attention towards sex. In this is that sexual attitudes are not biologically determined. So in this context, is socialization alone can help to fight the sexual violence? Or from childhood onwards, if we teach values and treating other women as sisters and mothers, so will that make or that will becomes a solution to the sexual violence? This is another question to you. So from biological perspective, what we have to do? And second aspect to it is, yes, today by making sex and discussion surrounding the sex open and stimulations of the sex are being reduced, can it reduce the sexual violence? Today, as we are a modern society, to an extent, the openness to the sex is increasing. Discussions on the sex are coming up, but at the same time, stimulations in the surrounding environment also have increased. Historically, if we observe, how to manage the sex and sexual desires is a big question for religious leaders. So, is bringing an openness about the sex and discussions about the sex is an indication of a society understanding itself and its mankind? And the second question here is, how a woman has to react to a sexual violence? Because there is a huge psychological burden associated with the sexual violence. Why can't sexual violence be seen as other forms of physical violence? Now, her psychological burden, emotional distress is expected to come down if it is seen as another form of a physical violence. Here the objective is not support the perpetrator of the violence, but how to reduce the emotional burden, because the entire society has created a huge emotional circle surrounding the sex and everything. From where this emotional circle has come up? It is an pre-scientific days, or I put it as pre-technology days, there was an emotional burden of sex. The reason is, in those days, the preventive aspects of the sex are absent. That is the reason why a chastity is created to the sex. And to protect the institution of family marriage, some importance or chastity value was given to the act of sex. So, if women see sexual violence as physical violence, don't you think that our emotional burden will come down? So, will it not be better for rehabilitation? So, a better society is open about sex, but it has to control the stimulations it generates about the sexual urges among the men. And the second thing is, remember this point. So the sex related things are basic need of every human being and also every living being on this earth. So in this context, the emotional significance of the sex, if it is diluted, then obviously the society can be a better place. The next question is, the sex is a biological need. Family and marriage, these are human arrangements. These are social institutions. Now, biological need, it is decided by your hormones and it is your makeup or your body makeup. So human arrangements, can't they be adjusted to the biological needs? Or we ask the question that if openness about the sex is brought into the society, it will worst affect the family and marriage. I'm not talking about open sex, openness to talk about the sex. Now, will it not affect the family and marriage? That's what is the question generally raised. Then if it is the question, how we have to see it as? So one is an acquired thing and one is a natural thing. So an acquired thing can be flexible and changed. So why a natural thing? Can you change a natural thing? These are the questions. So today I am posing 3 questions to you. Now, did we understand the sexual behavior before we started prescribing punishments for the sexual offenses? The second thing is, women are particularly stated to be vulnerable, and why so much of emotional burden is created on their lives related to sexual offenses? Can't we treat it as other physical offense so that they get out of their emotional burden? And the third question is, feminism is about women behaving as men and considering them as equals, or women and man together making the world a better place to live? These are the questions. You just try to think about and make some observations. I am curious to read about your observations. Thank you very much and all the best.